So I was basically just driving past and seeing this. This is not an uncommon sight in Thailand. Like, you see it quite a lot. Like people that have just kind of gone off the road. So I'm just going to open the vlog with this. We are going to be going on to some land, but I thought start the vlog with a bang. You can see I'm by a main intersection here, and obviously this person he's come to drive off the road here. But what it's just an odd sight, isn't it? Although it's a common sight in Thailand. This is the second one that I've seen like this in the past like 2 or 3 months. So one of them was at night time, and she'd just driven into a hole in the middle of the road. Looks like he's probably done some damage to the bonnet here. I don't know if we could all just try and jump on it and pull it out. So I've just suggested that we all kind of sit on the side and see if it actually does something. One step in the right direction, let's put it that way. Let's see the damage is done to the front. The front's just a little bumped in, a little bit of a scratch. But now the problem is how do you pull it out here? Well, I left the situation a little bit better than I found it, so hopefully all the best of them, they can get it out. But we've got to go and see some land, guys. I'm going to show you guys some rural Thailand land, cheap land, land of your dreams, where you want to drop out of society and say hell to it all. I'm going to go and live off grid on some cheap land in rural Thailand. I'm tired of the price of land in my hometown. I'm tired of mortgages. I'm tired of all this. I'm going to go and live out in the middle of nowhere. Remember, land here can be to use for your house, for your home, but it can also be for an investment too, right? Like, land prices are going up and up, and you don't want to buy in these tourist places where they're already inflated. You want to get out in the rural Thailand. That's what we're all about here on Life in Rural Thailand. Some of you won't have recognised the name of the channel's changed. It's not Life in Bamboo anymore, it's Life in Rural Thailand. And look who's just turned up. But that could be a very long adventure. It had a happy ending, let me just tell you that. They got it out. That's how it ends. Let's go and look at this land. It's getting hot, mama. Oh, it's getting hot. That light's got a hold on me. You can tell by the holes in my pockets. So before they get a hold on you, put your money in a safe and lock it. It's getting hot, mama. Oh, it's getting hot. มันมีบ้านอยู่ด้วยเหรอบ้านหลายหลังเนี่ยเขาทำหมดเยอะอ๋อเหรอเฉพาะน้ำน่ะระบบน้ำก็อย่างเดียวน่ะ 300,000 เลย 300,000 สำหรับน้ำอย่างเดียวอันนี้มันคงฝรั่งเหรอใช่แล้วเขาไปไหนเขาไปอยู่ระยองกับเมียใช่พอดีเขาไม่อยู่เมียเขาก็เลยต้องไปอยู่ทั้งหมด5 ไร่เหรอ5 ไร่กว่าเหยียบ6 ไร่อ่ะแต่ที่เป็นโฉนดด้วยใช่ครับ So as you can see, they got the fish here, and this was built by a Farang and his wife, but he doesn't want to be here anymore, so he's gone over to Rayong. Looks like he started construction on a nice little bridge there. It's very nature-like. There's a number of little buildings built. There's a little building down at the back there, which is just like a hay shed. And then there's the water tower, and then there's this main house, which is right on the water that they put in here. They've obviously had this dug especially. So let's take a look. You got your hammock here. And you got a nice little seating area where you would have pillows and perhaps entertain guests. So this is here is the kitchen. Got a nice little kitchen in here. And you got a little hob for cooking, storage in the drawers. Slider doors here. They open up like a bar area. And then you've got the sink, cupboards, and you've also got a big fridge in here too. She's eager to show me around. Here you got some nice windows, sliding windows in, that again you can look out of into the pond area. Very beautiful. Let's go through on to the main house. Here's a sitting area. as you come in. They've gone for the coloured glass like we have in our kitchen. And then you've got one bedroom in here. Obviously they're not living here at the moment, so it's not actually set up, but you've got a bed. And then I notice there's no air conditioning in this room. It gets quite hot, but just through the fly trap. This is the balcony that joins the whole thing that you can access from the bedroom. And then coming through here, you got the desk area. So this one obviously was used as an office, and then this one was wardrobes, I think, so for clothes and stuff. So that's just for more storage. But this would probably be either used as an office or a second bedroom. Definitely need aircon in here though, says me who lived without aircon for so long. And then here's your toilet and hot shower. They've definitely done a good job of the place. It's a small house, but it has everything that you need. And being on the water is a nice little touch too. Although you might want to consider mosquitoes. So being near the water, the mosquitoes can probably be quite bad. I don't know though, I never lived near a big body of water like that. So that's coming out again. It's a nice space how they've separated it. Probably would, if you're going to put aircon in here, you would probably have to do insulation in the roof up at the top there. So you'd probably have to insulate it. This is an outdoor seating space next to the water where he's put the fish in. It would also make a nice cafe out here. You could probably adapt this into a nice cafe. So just give you this is a look. It's a look of the building from the outside. It's very nicely done in wood. So you got 5 rye here. It's a lot of space to do something, and it really isn't a nice quiet area, but you've got access to the main road. It's a strange plot because it's so long. You know, usually we see big square plots, but this is like a big slither, a big long slither, which is kind of good because it takes you deep into the rice fields and into privacy, you know, and yet gives you access to the main road straight away. So it's a little bit of a mix. Let's go and see the other building that's here on the site. So now here's the second building, and this one really looks like it was built as more of a car park. She said that the water tower that he's built over here, he spent 300,000 on that. So 300k just on the water tower. So it has electricity here as well already in. And this is the water pump. So here's the water, and it looks like he's got a filtration system on there, but I don't know because I don't have one in our place. Nice water tower already on, and you have your electricity already on the land. As well as storage, it has a place for cars and motorbikes or vehicles, or perhaps even animals, should you choose to put them on there. Storage, and he's got another toilet in here. So storage and a toilet. So you definitely do have good access to water. Whoever owned this would have had to have these dug especially. So he's had a lot of water dug in here and planted some fruit trees, etc. They've really used the space quite well. So we come now to the entrance of the plot. Past the water tower, past the old wooden shed you got here. That could do with knocking down. So I'd just like to take a moment out of this vlog to mention our partners Surfshark. Many of the long-time subscribers to this channel already know Surfshark. You use their services, you've used our promo code on this channel, and if you are in the market for a VPN, please do check out our promotion first, because it's probably the best deal available here online for you. Surfshark is a VPN that's going to protect your privacy online to make sure you're safe while browsing. But more than that, it has other applications. Sometimes when we search for prices from one country, they can be different to if we search from a different country. And so Surfshark allows you to change your country up in the top right corner here and check if there's any variation in the prices, which could lead to you saving money. Also, if you're bored of your Netflix library in your home country, Surfshark allows you to change the location again in the top right hand corner and browse other libraries from other countries, allowing you to increase the content that you have access to. So click the link in the description and use code word BAMBOO to get an exclusive Surfshark discount plus 3 months extra free. And so let's talk about the price of this piece of land. This is 5 Rai, and the price includes the house and all of the outbuildings, obviously the water tower, everything that you've seen on the vlog is included. And it's on the market at the moment for the 5 Rai for 3.5 million baht negotiable. That comes to 101,000 US dollars. So it's working out at around 700,000 baht per Rai, at around $20,000. And having discussed it with Damo, I ran it past her and she said that at that price she probably wouldn't go for it. Simply because there's cheaper land available, 2 plots of which I'm going to show you coming up in this vlog. With this piece of land, it's all about how much value do you actually put on these buildings that have been built and the fact that the water has already been dug out for you. So let's get on to the next 2 pieces. So now on to the second piece of land. This piece of land doesn't have a house on it or any water in particular. This is pure farming land out in the middle of nowhere. The total area is 6 Rai. This sort of land would be perfect for sustainable farming, gardening, building a house, or purely as an investment. So though it's a little hard for me to describe to you the exact area of this land, it is to the left of the dirt road, and it is the dark green rectangle to the left. As you can see, it's got some trees on it already and is being used for farming. Here you can also see there's not much in the way of electricity. There's certainly no 7-Eleven. In fact, there's absolutely nothing around for miles and miles. So if you really want to be out of it, this is the kind of place that you would come to. Now, interestingly, I have found a little farm that's set up here, and they've dug into the ground to capture water. This little farm setup is obviously running on solar because there's no electricity poles or electricity lines running out here. They've got their own little vegetable gardens going, and clearly there are some animals too. They've got a lot of dogs, they're keeping pigs, and I think I saw a couple of goats knocking around along with some chickens. This is a makeshift home, but I think they've done a great job of it. Inside here you can see a little water tank. So it's a makeshift water tower. And though this little farm isn't part of the land, it's close by, I think it serves an example of what can be done even out here where there's no electricity. This land is no Saw Sam and doesn't have a Shinote, but the selling price is just 600,000 baht for 6 Rai, which is very, very cheap when you compare it to the tourist areas, some of which are 1 million baht a Rai, if not more, 2 million baht a Rai, depending on where the location is. So according to Damo, this sign says the organic farming by way of Kok Nong Na model. The Kok Nong Na model concept aims to organize the land for gardening, cultivating plants, excavating a pool and constructing a house. So the Kok Nong Na model is to have a little house by a big puddle of water, a little bit like Damo's dad has out in the rice field also, and use that water to grow the plants and have a sustainable cycle of food coming off. Here obviously this is all solar powered, so the pump for the water is solar powered in order to water the plants, which is similar to how my wife's dad lives also. This is a very sustainable, very basic way to live, but also very beautiful and how rural. If you really want your privacy, this is the place to be. Out here in rural Thailand, nobody's going to bother you around this area. So I have to say, guys, I do find myself increasingly spending more time standing in fields talking to you guys. And when the locals pass me by, they're like, who's this Farang just like hanging about? in the fields, like I'm filming fields and just filming grass. Like to them it's just mud, you know. But you know, this area is obviously a very, very rural area. If you're coming out here, you really want to be alone. Like you want to get away from society. You've just had enough. You want to pack the job in. You never want to see anybody again. You don't want 7-Eleven. You don't want party nightclubs and bars and things like that. You've just had enough of the world and you've decided to drop off the map. That's why you come out here. And that's why the land is cheap, because there is nothing out here. One thing to be wary of is that there's no electricity lines set up. As you can see, there's no lines. So to get the electric out here, you're talking big money already. Really, for this piece of land, you're going to want to go solar. So you're going to want to go off-grid. And that means no aircon, remember. So if you're out in rural Thailand, there are ways that you could have so many batteries that you could run aircons, don't get me wrong. But that setup is going to be quite expensive. And I don't know how it may compare to actually just running the lines, running the cables. It depends where you are and where the land is, of course. So a place like this is super rural. It's going to be solar. You can have solar powered water pumps. You can have heated water through tubes, which heats from the ground, from the sun. The tubes on the top of the ground, it heats from the sun. We've got a local coming through now on a motorbike. Ready, car? She's like, what is this Farang doing here, hanging about in this field? So yeah, you can do the heated water, you can do the heating water through tubing, you can do the solar, but here this is real off-grid living and this is cheap land. But maybe you're buying it as an investment, maybe you don't want to develop it, maybe you just say, right, I want to take six rye and I want to sit on it for 10 years and see where it is in 10 years. Funnily enough, even this area is so full of land, it's not always that it comes up, because that's what the locals are doing. They're sitting on it. They're like, well, why should I take 600,000 now, 100,000 baht a rye, when I can just sit on it and it's going to be worth double in 10 years? So, another field. And now on to the final piece of land, which is very close to our neighbour's piece of land and house that we saw in the first part of this vlog. This piece of land actually is much cheaper, however. It's priced at 350,000 baht per rye, and there is 5 rye. The reason it is cheaper is because there's no buildings on it and no water dug out into it. Just to let you know where it is, it's this triangle shape here that begins just behind the building and moves all the way up. And as I've said, this is undeveloped, just to give you an idea of what would the price of the land be undeveloped, and that is around a 50% discount in this case. So that's it, guys. That's 3 pieces of land in rural. I said I'd find some more for you, and I did. Not so cheap though, not as cheap as I would have liked. We're going to do a vlog on budget land. I'm going to try and find the cheapest land that I can possibly find. Now here's another example of this lady that took me around there. I offered her some money and she didn't want it. As I said on this vlog, anytime there's a Thai person involved or in a thumbnail, I always give them a little something. She didn't want it, and that's like another vlog on my Naked Guru channel, on my other channel. Go and check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Some guy restarted my car with the battery, tried to give him 200 baht here in rural Thailand, and these are the people, by the way, that really need it. I don't have anything. No, he wouldn't have it. He wouldn't take it. It's just another example in rural Thailand about what kind of people they're like. They're a community, and I've lived here long enough now to be part of the community. This lady, I've known her for about 2 or 3 years. The guy that restarted my car, I don't know him like as a good friend or anything like that, but you know, he knows my name, and within the village now people know me. It's come to the point where everybody kind of knows, oh, it's Ryan, and I think you get treated as part of the community that way, you know. I often try to insist on them taking a little bit of cash for it, but if they reject it, you also want to be polite and accept their refusal. So there we've had it. We've had 3 pieces of land that you've joined me on the journey for looking at. The next bits of land you're going to see actually are probably up in Pai if I can find any, up in Mae Hon Son. And then also we're going to be doing some costs of living vlog up there, and I'm going to be staying with the Hill Tribes. That's going to be a 2-week trip that I'm setting off for in August. So if you want to come along for the ride, you'll see the main vlogs from that on this channel, and you'll see my daily diary over on the Naked Guru, link in description, so you can go and subscribe over there. If you haven't already, do check out Fruiting Body Lion's Mane Mushrooms. If you're based in Thailand, you can go to the link in the description for Lazada. And if you haven't already, you're thinking about moving to Thailand, you can check out my book on Amazon worldwide. It's Thailand Expat, a guide to moving to Thailand. Thanks for coming along for the ride. I hope it's food for thought for you if you're planning to become an expat, or even if you're just interested in what land costs in comparison to your home country and whatnot. So take care, everybody.